welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV. Moments after Arsenal's 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace on a very frustrating afternoon. To be an Arsenal fan, it's where to start? There's so many talking points. We're gonna discuss them all. But for me, Granit Xhaka's behaviour was absolutely disgraceful as an Arsenal captain. On being subbed by Unai Emery, he just showed a lot of petulance. He tossed the armband to Lacazette. He waved his hands in the air when he was getting a bit of stick from Arsenal fans because he wasn't leaving the pitch as fast as he could. We believe he swore. I'm not sure he swore at. We'll have to check the TV for that. But he swore in the general direction of Arsenal fans, by the sounds of it. He basically he didn't want to shake Unai Emery's hand when he came off, and he threw the Arsenal shirt down. Massively disrespectful in the Arsenal shirt. For me, that is just unacceptable behaviour from an Arsenal captain, basically. As I tweeted, it's the worst on-field behaviour from an Arsenal captain since William Gallas. I would say it's the worst behaviour from an Arsenal captain, but Laurie Koscielny's messy departure over the summer basically trumped that one. But on the pitch, Granit Xhaka was an absolute disgrace for me. Absolute disgrace. We're going to go outside and talk to Serge and Dan the Man Mounty, who's going to come straight from Unai Emery's press conference. But for me, I am absolutely disgusted by Granit Xhaka on a really, really frustrating afternoon for Arsenal after drawing 2-2 with Palace. Welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV. We're just outside the Emirates after Arsenal's really frustrating 2-2 draw with Palace. I'm here with Serge after our walk and talk before the game. We were a bit tired, but we had a lot of energy at 2-0, and Arsenal did as well. But the second, not even the second half, after they conceded that goal when they were absolutely coasted, it was so frustrating, wasn't it? But before we do that, we've got to talk about Granit Xhaka. I started the programme just saying I was absolutely frustrated and it was absolutely unacceptable behaviour. I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, I've been trying to defend him for the longest of times. So, you know, he can pass well, he's got good positioning, but the way he came off that pitch was an outrage. It was just such poor behaviour. Yeah. He's coming off. When we're conceding 2, we need to get momentum, speed, get some reshuffle of the positions so we can attack better. So we're trying to bring on Xhaka, the young player, and he's walking off as slow as possible, throws his armband at Aubameyang or Lacazette, walks off, refuses to shake hands. You've got to think this 18-year-old kid, he's trying to come on and make a positive impact, and he's got the crowd baying. Granit Xhaka putting his hand to his ear to try and frustrate the fans even more. I mean, what has he attempted to gain there? It's outrageous.
I mean, if we just deconstruct what Granit Xhaka did from the moment Emery decided to haul him off, which from my point of view, and we talked about this the other day, if you're going to make someone captain, unless they're having a really bad game and they're injured, you don't take him off after an hour. It's the second time in a week he's done that. You're hanging your captain out to dry as much as whatever you think about your captain. For me, Granit Xhaka should be in the side. But if he's captain, why are you taking him off after an hour? So I can understand Granit Xhaka's frustrated. I can understand the crowd's frustrated as well. We were frustrated, and maybe he was getting a bit of stick. But ultimately, you're Arsenal captain. You have to take it on the chin. So what happened then? He basically he showed petulance to start with.
He had a tantrum.
Yeah,
that's the best way to describe it. He had the childish tantrum, throwing his shirt off. That is an utter disgrace.
Yeah, I mean, but that was at the end. I mean, what did he do to start with? He sort of. He threw his arms in the air, didn't he? Well, he threw the armband first.
Well, he threw his arms in the air, took his armband off, threw it on the floor, walked off, started going like that to the crowd, put his hands on his ear,
allegedly swore as well.
And then refused to basically shake Emery's hand, refused to say anything to Saka. And it's like, what are you trying to achieve here? You're supposed to be the #1 captain for Arsenal. You're supposed to be the rally to our troops who understands the game. The man's played in the World Cup, he's played in the Champions League, Europa League, he's played at all the top level. He knows how football works. He should understand when you need to change the pitch, you need to change it. You need to change the formation. You should respond to his manager's solution. And when he came off, the momentum completely changed. We looked more positive going forwards. We looked a little bit more put together, and it was actually the right decision from Unai Emery.
I think you're absolutely right on that. But purely in terms of Granit Xhaka's behaviour, we were talking about sort of William Gallas being the previous worst behaviour from an Arsenal captain over the last sort of 10-12 years. Completely forgetting about Laurie Koscielny's off-field behaviour in the summer with his messy departure. That has got to be the worst act of petulance for an Arsenal captain since Birmingham City away in 2008 with William Gallas. And if that's, I mean, do you think that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's the worst act of a captain I've seen for any team.
Well, it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
When a captain is taken off, obviously it does dent his confidence, which is it's undeniable. You can understand his frustration. I get that. But there's a way of dealing with it, especially in front of the crowd. On the pitch, you can't do that. You should do it in a quiet room, talk to everybody and say, look, this is not working. Either you don't start me or start me. You can't yank me off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if that's the case, and it is, we genuinely believe. What happens next? Can he remain Arsenal captain? Is his position completely untenable?
Well,
for me personally, I would strip him the captaincy, and then that also removes the fact that he shouldn't be playing anyway. That is just. I mean, I've seen a lot of captains over the last 40 years for Arsenal. That is unacceptable what he's did today, and they've got to take the captaincy off him for that, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
100%. I mean, if you look to the squad today, we finally had the dream start of Pepe with Aubameyang. Like I said, that's what everyone's been wanting, and it looked really fluid to begin with. But there was no linchpin in the middle to deal with the defence and the forwards.
Well, that's we're talking about. We need a creative midfielder in the middle.
And it's amazing. We've got Ozil, but we don't have Ozil.
Yeah.
So instead, Xhaka's trying to fill a role that he obviously isn't competent at doing. That's not his style of play.
Yeah.
He needs to have the creative player in front of him, someone he can give the ball to, not try and leap forwards straight to the forwards. It just doesn't work. He either doesn't start or we play Ozil and then try and keep him.
Yeah, absolutely. Which begs the question, or the next name on our discussion, Unai Emery. What do we think about Unai Emery's performance today as manager?
Well, I mean, I think he finally listened to the crowd and actually started the front three that we all wanted.
Yeah.
I think the defence today looked good. Tierney started and played 75 minutes, and it looked a competent 75 minutes.
Yeah. It was full of running and good energy.
David Luiz was well.
Yeah.
Chambers, I thought, played very well. He was a bit more cautious than Tierney. He didn't run as far forward, but I think defensively, they apart from obviously the absurd error, which we'll go into in a minute, but that and the forward was good. I think the midfield he doesn't really know what we've got there.
Yeah. And again, it begs the question: is Emery managing Ozil properly? Obviously not. It feels like it's coming down from above, where Emery's been told that he can't pick Ozil because they want to edge him out of the club, manage him out of the club in January. But surely, if you're a strong enough manager, you'll go, well, actually, I want him. But maybe he obviously doesn't want him, does it?
But then the question is, if you look at the suspense we have 3 defenders, a DM, and then Martinelli and Saka. And we brought Saka on, which I thought was a positive change. But then we didn't bring Martinelli on, which I thought was really odd, because Lacazette didn't look match fit to me, really. He looked like he was sluggish. He didn't look like he was particularly quick enough. And we saw Martinelli in the previous games. He's been a firecracker. Yeah. So I don't really understand why we didn't bring him on. Maybe it's because he didn't want to, after the Xhaka frustration, he was a bit rattled. It's hard to work out. But his substitutions at the moment seem to be sort of quite middling. They're not as impressive as they could be, considering the strength and depth we have got.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously the elephant in the room is VAR. That was frustrating. We were sat in the stands. We didn't know what was going on to start with. 60,000 people didn't know what was going on to start with. Was it the right call? We can't really say because we haven't seen it on television. But what was your gut instinct about VAR and just
I think
just its technique?
The way it's handled, I think, is particularly dreadful.
Yeah.
Because we all sit there, we all celebrate it, and then suddenly we just get a random VAR sign. We're like, but it was definitely a dive, or that was a goal, and it turns out, no, it was a penalty to Palace. Or the Socrates goal was apparently a push on Luka Milivojevic.
Yeah.
But there's no discussion with the fans. There's no replays where we can judge for ourselves. So we're sitting there like lemons, not understanding what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really ruins the atmosphere of the game if you've got a goal taken away from you and a goal given against you. It's hard to work out how to actually approach the game. Do you celebrate when the goal happens, or do you have to wait for VAR to say goal and then celebrate? It really ruins the atmosphere of football.
Absolutely. I know paying TV has got a right to call the shots, certainly to a large extent, but at the same time, surely 60,000 people in the Emirates and every football ground across the country, across the world who's got VAR, has got a right to know what's going on after you pay your money for your ticket.
I mean, you think it'd be quite simple. If you go to the cricket or you go to the rugby, they have a very explicit, understanding and well explained outcome for every decision and why the decision's been pulled, why it's been made, and they show you what happens. When they do the ball tracking in cricket, you see every single move that they're doing, and it's not bizarre for the fans to go, oh, what's happening? They go, oh, okay, that's why, and it's fine. In football, it seems to be they just haven't quite understood that it's not just the Sky and BT customers. The fans in the stadium need to understand what's happening too. But we're the ones watching it live or paying to see it, and we can't.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've covered games at Twickenham, I've covered cricket matches as well, and the paying spectators are kept in a loop far more than they are in football, and that was just it was so frustrating. It just added another layer of frustration to this afternoon. Really.
Every goal we scored, there was a tentative feeling of, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to be taken away or not?
Absolutely.
But
in terms of Socrates, then he's one who's got to feel aggrieved more than anyone with his second goal being rubbed out. But how did you think he played, Socrates?
I thought he played very well, because I think he's gotten a lot of stick from a lot of Arsenal fans in terms of he's not particularly impressive. He's a bit sluggish, but I thought today, he was banding around. He was quite pressuring. He was getting in the box, which is something you want to see from him. And he got man of the match deservedly, I think. because I don't think anyone else was particularly sparkling. I think he's really fighting for his spot, which I think is quite a good thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a couple of insiders, and they were saying he's training well along with Mavropanos. So, yeah, we just want ask the players to play well. We certainly want our defence to play well. We want our centre halves to play well. And I think Socrates did play better than he has been recently, basically.
Definitely.
And,
I mean, that's why the crowd gave him a standing applause, because he was a good part of the team today. The one saving grace of what was a fairly limp performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And it made me cast my mind back to the last time an Arsenal centre half scored 2 goals in a game. I was trying to think of Keown scored 2 against Shakhtar Donetsk. Sort of 2000, 2001, something like that. And Steve Bold scored 2 against Sampdoria in 95 in the Cup. I really can't think of too many centre halves who scored 2 goals. Obviously, Scribes hasn't because he had the second wiped off, but that did get me thinking. But it's just a minor irrelevant point, really. That's why my brain
we'll have to come back to that, the Christmas quiz.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably get that wrong as well. But what else can we say? I mean, what's your final take on the afternoon then?
Well, the afternoon started off really well, doing the walk and talk. It was super positive, talking and with all the Crystal Palace fans about mental health and the awareness around it. That was really well. Admittedly, 12 miles was slightly tiring.
I was knackered.
But watching that game, the first 10 minutes were electric. We were all over them. They looked an absolute beating. And then our match management was non-existent. It was completely kaput. And that really does sort of put a damper on the evening. What could have been a brilliant canter. I mean, if you look at Liverpool, Tottenham played at the same time, and Kane got a goal in the first minute, and they battled on, and Liverpool only brought back the victory late into it. So, and they're kind of like our direct competitors. And Chelsea won, Man United won, so everyone around us is winning. And we just dropped 2 massively important points.
Absolutely. It's just another frustrating afternoon. We're as frustrated as you guys. Like, comment, share this piece. We'd love to know what you think. Well, you've heard our say now, me and Serge say. We'd love to hear what you guys think in the shadows of the Emirates after a 2-2 draw with Palace on another frustrating afternoon. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Cheers.